Hello, my lovelies. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Or if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to the Modern Muse channel. So, this is going to be part one of a new series I'm starting on the channel entitled Becoming a Muse. Now, I've seen you guys' comments asking, what is a muse? How do I become one? Do I have any tips? And I absolutely do because we're in this journey together. And I just wanted to start off with this topic on realignment because I know the topic of rebranding is so popular, especially in 2025. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with rebranding, it's actually necessary. However, that's not the first thing you should do when you are trying to become your highest self. I think a lot of times we skip over the hard part and we just want to worry about the aesthetics or how people perceive us. We need to do the inner work. And that's kind of what realignment is. So, to me, rebranding is more about changing your outward identity, your image, the message you send to people, how you're perceived, like I said. And a realignment, it's more internal. It's shifting your focus, shifting your strategy. If something isn't working for you, you need to make a change. Your values need to change. You need to better align with your goals and your purposes. It's more internal. It's more of like an energy shift, if you will. And it does involve restructuring, it involves new priorities. You're basically refining your path. And while rebranding, like I said, is necessary because how people perceive you does matter. We want to get into the right circles. Especially if you want to be like a socialite, you want to have the right contacts. It sounds shallow, but life is a lot easier when you have certain people on speed dial. I'm sorry. And yeah, it's necessary, but realignment to even get you in that type of energy to attract those type of people is more important. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I hope you guys like the video. Go ahead and subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, or if you like the video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Let's get into it. I want you guys to picture this. Let's say that you purchase a new home. Guys, I'm going to try my best with this analogy, okay? Don't come for me in the comments. But let's say that you purchased a new home. You're young at the time, you're very young, and maybe you don't have any guidance. You just came into a little bit of money and you saw this home that was very beautiful. It was on the waters, it was very aesthetically pleasing, and even better, it was very inexpensive. And you didn't do the research to find out why it was inexpensive because you're young and dumb. So you went out on a whim and you purchased this home. And let's say sooner or later you found out why this home was so cheap. And it was because that this home was in a hurricane zone. So basically, every hurricane season, this area gets destroyed. And years go by, and you find yourself, when you already matured and gotten a bit older, you find yourself very distressed and very unsatisfied with your decision to purchase this home. It's not serving you any purpose. It's causing you a lot of emotional distress because you constantly maybe have to relocate whenever there's a storm coming. It's causing you a lot of anxiety. It's also causing you a lot of financial burden because maybe the insurance company isn't paying that much, and so you have to come out of pocket for a lot of the repairs. Maybe you have to keep staying in hotel rooms and in the meantime while your home is being rebuilt. It's just taking a toll on you, and you're realizing that there's no amount of remodeling, rebuilding, renovating, changing windows, changing roofs, paying jobs that is going to satisfy you. You need to actually change your environment altogether. That is the only logical solution. Get out of that environment. This is basically the way that we should be viewing our lives in some cases. And A lot of us are in these unsatisfactory positions. We are in unfulfilling jobs, dead end jobs. We are underpaid in our field, maybe because we didn't finish college, or maybe we didn't even go to college. We're attracting bottom of the barrel men. Our circle basically sucks. The girlfriends we hang out with, they're unambitious. They don't put time into their looks. They are male centered. They're very low vibrational. And you're losing that passion that you once had for life because you realize that you made a lot of mistakes, and you're not where you just have that feeling that you're not where you're supposed to be. The good news is there is free will. We are adults, and at any moment, you can decide to pivot. You need to totally change the course of your life. There is no amount of rebranding. There is no amount of getting a new wardrobe, buying new makeup, changing your social media aesthetic, changing your aesthetic to the quote unquote old money style that is going to bring you fulfillment. You literally have to strategize. You need a new strategy. You need to basically uproot everything and turn it around. Think back to that time when you were younger, whether you were preteen or teen or maybe even early 20s, it doesn't really matter. When you had so much passion, so much drive, so much excitement for life, because around that time you felt like the world was at your fingertips, which it was, and little do you know, still is. What did you want to do with your life before the distractions or the inconveniences of life, before you met the wrong crowd, started hanging out with the wrong friends, before you made the wrong decisions, before you met that guy or met that girl that just led you astray? What plan did you have before you ended up taking a break from school and maybe never even returned? Ended up starting a family unplanned, ended up at a job that you hated and just continued to stay because of stability. What is it that piqued your interest? What is it that ignited a fire in you that made you feel like this was your purpose? This was your calling from a higher power. You need to find that and you need to act on that. So, the next thing that I want you guys to focus on when it comes to realigning with your highest self is you are going to conduct a full life audit on yourself. So think of yourself as a business in a sense, and take full inventory on what you have. And you need to toss out what is expired, or you need to go over what is no longer adding up in terms of your relationships. I think that we forget as human beings that we are evolving beings, meaning that you are not going to be the same as you were when you first entered a relationship or when you first entered a friendship. A lot of us are in these friendships and these relationships, and we are scared. We are scared to walk in our truth because we don't want to offend anybody. The less people you are attached to and tied to, the better it is for you to be yourself unapologetically. Get rid of the ties. Get rid of these friendships that are not serving you. If you're in a friend group and it's not serving you any purpose, you can't be yourself. You're the only one that's trying to get ahead. You're the only one that's trying to learn new things. Get cultured, travel. You're probably the only one with a passport, the only one that can maybe carry on a conversation, an intelligent conversation. You're in the wrong space. You're in the wrong friend group. Now, there are some exceptions. You have some friendships that have been locked in since childhood. That's different. If it's a genuine bond, maybe you guys are just different. That's okay. However, you have to be careful because sometimes when you really want to elevate, pay attention to the way people treat you. If they start to treat you differently because you want better for yourself, then you know this is not a friendship for you. Learn to be self sufficient. You don't need to have a pack of people behind you to feel validated. Learn how to do things on your own. You will get so much further in life if you cut the ties that you have to a lot of people, family included. But that's another topic for another day. This also goes for relationships. Now, if you're married, I can't really speak to that. You would have to do what's best for your situation. That's a bit more complicated. However, I'm mainly talking to my young single women who are not in any committed relationships, maybe just casually dating, or maybe just got into something new, or as you know, our generation likes to entertain situationships. You need to cut those ties. If you have men in your phone, and obviously I know there are women that men can say the same thing for women, a lot of things that I'm about to say. However, I am a woman, a straight woman, and I only have experiences dating men. So I can't speak for the other way around. I guess you can just take what I'm saying and apply it to your situation. Don't come in the comments being dense. If you have men in your life, if you have men in your phone, go into your contact list. If this man is not pouring into you, whether that be financially assisting you with maybe some goals you have, especially if you're sleeping with them, whether that be maybe just getting wisdom and guidance. They like to talk about their alpha males and they need to lead. And I'm not bashing that. Men are supposed to be leaders, but sometimes you can't even go to them for like guidance or advice on anything. And that should not be the case. They'll literally be in your phone asking you, what you doing every day. No plan, no intentions on building something with you, literally just there to take up space and waste your time. Delete the contacts, delete the chats, cut the ties. Especially if you're someone that is always entertaining situationships, it benefits you in no way. You're attracting these men because you're not on your right path. Once you realign yourself with your highest self and your actual purpose and you step into your authenticity, you will be amazed at the different type of people that you will be attracting into your life. You're also going to audit your habits and your patterns. So think about what you're doing that's keeping you off track. What habits are holding you back from being more productive, more present, more confident? What places do you frequent that do not align with your future self? You're going to take all of that into account. You're also going to take into account your career and your purpose. What career path or what job are you constantly stuck are you stuck in that does not align with your ambition or your values? Think about if you're fulfilled. Are you growing in the company or in the environment? Do you see yourself doing what you're currently doing long term, the next 15, 20, 30 years? Does it reflect your passion? Are you motivated or are you simply surviving? If not, you need to come up with a plan. You need to strategize. There are so many options to better yourself. I'm not saying that it's easy, especially I know everyone is in different circumstances. However, it's also not going to be easy to stay in an environment that you absolutely hate. Being outside of your purpose is literally a life of misery. And it's not something that you want to look back on and regret not making the effort to try and do better for yourself. There's online courses if you feel like your time is limited. If you have it like that, you can take a break and maybe go abroad. There's so many options to look into to change the whole scope of your life if you're not satisfied. The final thing that I am going to touch on before I close out the video, and this is actually crazy because should have been my first point, because this is actually the most important thing. You need to shift your mindset and you need to tap in spiritually or energetically, depending on your beliefs. You cannot do anything outward until you make that decision inward. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's literally the truth. Everything that you see in this life is a manifestation of what was once a thought. Things are created in your thoughts first, and then they manifest in the physical. It makes no sense to uproot your life, change the whole trajectory of your life change your path, get on the right path, and then you still have the same mindset, you are going to end up reverting back to your old ways because you're not a changed being. And this also taps into spirituality. The only way to know that you are not on the right path is if you are tapped in to your spiritual self or your inner energy. Because I know, like I said, everyone has different beliefs. That is what we call discernment, to know that, okay, what I'm doing does not feel right. Some people, I know some people, don't believe in, a higher power or anything spiritual like that. But I have a good feeling that most of my subscribers do believe in God, or maybe they have a different religion, and that's completely fine. I'm not here to judge anyone. However, it's important to know that you are not operating out of flesh alone. You have to tap into your spirituality to see, so they can guide you on where it is that you need to be. You need to strengthen your discernment to know, I don't belong in this space. I don't belong on this path. That is literally the only way that you would know if you are aligned with your highest self. Whether that be Jesus, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, or whatever. If you're not into that and you're maybe just into like crystals and stuff, I'm not gonna judge anyone, but you need to get on the right path and you need spiritual guidance. So that should have actually been the first thing. There's this sermon on YouTube by Bishop T.D. Jakes. Regardless of how anyone has any personal feelings you may have towards him, the man is intelligent. He's very wise. He has a sermon entitled, "There is Nothing as Powerful as a Changed Mind." And that was actually the sermon that kind of changed my life. I watched it years ago, and that set me on this path to finding my higher self and becoming a muse. And so I'm going to try to link it below in the description. You guys can go ahead and watch it whenever you have time, or you can just listen to it when you're exercising, when you're working, because it is, I think, a little over an hour long, but it's very valuable information. It's very valuable teaching. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope this video isn't too long, but it is packed with a lot of information, and we do have more to come. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I do have exciting news for you guys. I'll probably announce it on the next video. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think about the video down low in the comments. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are interested in seeing more videos like this, and if you want to be a part of our community. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.